Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the possibility of a colder, possibly snowy spell of weather which is likely to impact the UK and Ireland in the next couple of weeks or so as we approach the middle of January. And you may have seen quite a lot of hype about this on social media, but in this video we're going to be kind of talking about more of the details, what's going to cause this to happen, what are the current kind of ideas on snow risk, how long it's going to last, that kind of thing. But right away, we'll start off by looking at the overview chart. This is the European model's pressure anomalies, so showing how much above or below the average pressure the current weather situation is. And it's a pretty good indicator of the kind of weather regime we're seeing, whether that's a blocked regime with high pressure, more settled, or whether that's more unsettled with low pressure at play, or something in between. And you can see currently the chart for tomorrow is showing a big blob of whites on the chart surrounded by reds and oranges, which is showing an area of above average high pressure to our north, which has been responsible for the more settled sunny weather, also the colder weather in the south with the snow yesterday. But what you're going to notice as we progress through the week is that these reds and purples, the reds and kind of oranges are progressing to the northwest and becoming kind of by the weekend situated more over Greenland and Iceland, as you can see here. And now this is important because the winds around high pressure flow clockwise. So if you kind of draw on that wind direction there, you can see that actually brings in a northerly flow by Sunday over the UK and Ireland. And a northerly flow is notoriously pretty cold because you're kind of tracing that air all the way from these very cold regions up here. So if I show you the temperature anomaly chart, you can see by Sunday we have a cold front pushing south somewhere along here. And behind that we have all these blues and purples showing very below average air. So we do actually now have pretty good agreement on this kind of idea. And if I show you, okay, never mind, looks like the European ensembles are not working, but if I show you the GFS ensembles, you can see similar thing here. The agreement is pretty strong now with high pressure across kind of Greenland, and then low pressure to our east, and then these very dark blues and purple colors indicating that by Monday we're going to be seeing pretty cold air impacting the UK and Ireland, and the models agree we've got good confidence on this bit now. Also, one element of these northerly flows is that very often you're going to get snow showers coming in from the north. So if I just show you an example of the European model here, notice that by Sunday we have a lot of these purple blobs starting to impact kind of the northern coast of Scotland, and then also later on further south in parts of Ireland, Northern Ireland. But you can see there definitely what I'm talking about. All these purple blobs are indicating the risk for snow showers, and this is kind of an automatic feature with these northerlies because the much colder air aloft creates a very big temperature difference between the ocean, because the ocean is usually kind of 4 or 5 degrees, temperatures aloft as much as -10, and so that causes instability, which makes these showers form, and because it's so cold, their precipitation drops as snowfall. So really, by the beginning of next week, the northern coast of Scotland, Northern Ireland are going to be starting to see a snow risk from these showers, which is something to bear in mind. Now, if I go back to the kind of overall pattern on the European model, you can notice something quite interesting starting to happen. So we still have a high pressure at play. It's remaining here to our north, bringing in that cold air still. But then if you notice by kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, what starts to happen is you get these areas of blue and purple colors starting to push in to our south, and that's indicating low pressure systems making their kind of approach onto the UK. And especially in these kind of setups where you've got high pressure to the north, it can get quite interesting because the low pressure systems, they have rising air. This leads to precipitation forming, and then they kind of because high pressure is there, they can't move fully north like they normally would during the kind of winter in the UK with a strong jet stream. So what happens is that the precipitation on the northern edge can bump into the cold air and actually lead to fairly significant snowfall. So this is definitely a risk that we're going to start to look out for, especially Tuesday, Wednesday onwards. And just to give you an example of how this might play out, we can look at the latest European model run. So the European model run, as we talked about, has a cold northerly flow, snow showers moving into the north, and then further south quite sunny, dry, but feeling quite crisp and cold. But then notice we have this low pressure system sliding. That's what the term is, the kind of jargon term. It's kind of a slider low. It slides through the channel, and you can see where we have those purple colours across England, that is actually all snowfall. And actually that gives a fairly decent covering on this particular run. And do not take this too literally, because as I will show you, this is constantly kind of chopping and changing. Every single run, every single model is showing a different thing for kind of Tuesday, Wednesday. But the general theme is a low pressure system, or multiple moving in around this time frame. And on the northern edge of that, which we don't know where that will be, but somewhere could see the risk of snow. And if I continue going this through, you can see the same thing happens again, except this time further north. We get a slightly stronger low pressure system pushing through, bumps into the cold air, and where we've got those purples, that's showing heavy snowfall on the northern edge, leading to fairly significant accumulations. Now, to give you an idea of the uncertainty, we can take a look at the 0 o'clock run, and that also showed a similar thing. So the theme is repeating. We are expecting to see those low pressure systems pushing in, but as you can kind of sense, the uncertainty is very high. We just do not know exactly when they will be, exactly how far north will be, and that's the really crucial thing, because if this goes any further north, as I'm about to show you in a bit, the snow risk could be kind of Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland, the kind of more typical areas. But if this is further south, like for example this particular single run is showing, then what that would lead to is a very rare significant snowfall across kind of southern England. For example, this is all hypothetical at this stage, it's very far out, over a week out, it's very kind of unreliable. We do have a good idea of the general pattern though, and that's why I'm saying it's just something to be aware of. Kind of on the same kind of topic, if I show you the GFS there, the GFS model here, sorry, you can see still have a high pressure to our north, so we still have a kind of a cold flow, but the low pressure systems are more kind of much further north, as you can see here, and actually the boundary between cold and mild air is much further north. It's also less strong because we get a few kind of low pressure systems eating away at that high pressure, so the northerly isn't quite as strong, but still we do get snowfall kind of on the northern edge of that low there. So we do know that somewhere in the UK and Ireland next week, so Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be seeing the risk of a low pressure system bumping up into the UK, but we just don't know where. And if I show you this chart right here, this is the Dalmatian plot. I've showed it a few times before. Basically shows the different ensemble positions of low pressure. You can see where we've got these kind of more whitey, grey, pinky colours. That's where we've got our high pressure coming to the north there. We also actually have a few kind of dots of blue and kind of blue and greeny colours here kind of to the northeast of us. This is another thing to watch. These northerly flows can be relatively unstable in that they have these kind of small areas of rising motion. They're very hard to predict, but where they do occur, they can cause locally significant snowfall. That's not something we can say where or when, even if it's going to happen at this stage. It's just something to be aware of. But then the kind of main thing that I was just talking about is, if you notice to the south of us, we have a big pool of blue and light blue colours here. That's showing all the different possible solutions of low pressure affecting the UK kind of around midweek next week, so Wednesday the 17th. And so any of these different possibilities are on the table still, and these could be anything from no snow to big snow in the south to big snow in the north to mild unsettled weather. So it's kind of just giving you an indication of the general setup kind of over the next few weeks. But if I show you the weekly mean anomaly charts, you can still see here that from the week starting Monday and then to the 22nd, we still do have high pressure at play. So even if we do see attempts of low pressures to kind of push in from the south and bring milder air to the south, we're still likely to see some cold flow over the north, continued risk of snow showers there, especially kind of after Wednesday, Thursday. The north still looks to stay relatively cold, and I'd actually say the GFS is kind of more out of line with this solution, because if I show you the Canadian model, you can see it actually shows kind of again the low passing more to the south and kind of brings snow further south, and then after that passes we still get a cold northerly flow bringing showers even through into the end of the week. So there are kind of two distinct possibilities from the current modelling. The first one is the GFS. We get a kind of weaker high which doesn't bring as much of a northerly flow, so less kind of pressure from the high pressure systems, therefore the lows push up more from the south, things are much more mild across the south, a snow risk across the north, but also the cold weather does not last that long. So that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is the kind of European model, Canadian model, UK Met Office model. That is a stronger high pressure system, a stronger northerly flow, and the lows tend to go more to the south. The high pressure remains towards the end of the week, so towards the 20th or so. Just because of the numbers, it's basically 3 against 1. I'm currently favouring the better, colder one. But still, we have to watch that, and I will update you all. And on top of that, we do have the risk of snow showers and those kind of small disturbances in the flow. But kind of just to sum everything up, I made this graphic here, kind of looking at the cold potential for January 2024. And you can see here the blue areas showing basically all of the UK and Ireland are expected to see below average temperatures starting to the 15th and likely going towards the 20th. The exact end date is not entirely clear, but this is the general time frame we're looking at, and generally anywhere here it will be possible, it will be cold enough for snow, but it depends on whether we see any kind of actual precipitation to fall as snow. So kind of here more of a hit and miss snow risk. Then in the blue zone, that's where we're likely to see those snow showers coming in from the north. Also a heightened risk of those small disturbances which can bring localized but heavy snowfall but are very uncertain. But this general area, a slightly higher risk for snow showers, possibly some decent accumulations along the northern coasts. And then the biggest question mark, the biggest uncertainty, is this risk across the south of Ireland and the south of the UK. Potentially we're going to look at lows pushing in from the south, and as that precipitation bumps into cold air, it could cause significant spells of snow, but we just don't know exactly when, exactly where, and also to what degree the snowfall would be. That's all still very, very far out. But do kind of subscribe, like the video so more people see it, and stay up to date so that you can kind of get the frequent updates on exactly what's going to happen, whether it's going to snow. And also feel free to follow my Twitter. That's kind of the tag there. Just put that into Twitter and I'll probably do more frequent updates than YouTube. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a great day. Bye bye.